For this tabletop review, I'm going to be discussing the Bushnell Trophy red dot. This is a 1 by 28 millimeter multi-reticle red dot sight, and it carries model number 730135. Now, this isn't a red dot that you really hear a lot about. I've seen it on Bushnell's website before, but you don't really see a lot of people using this, at least not like the Bushnell TRS-25. And it could be because of the mounting requirements of this, or it could just be the marketing. Bushnell kind of markets this towards hunting rifles and pistols, and so they don't really market this towards the AR-15 market. So anyway, this is the box that it comes in, not too similar to the box that the TRS-25 comes in, and you can see the trophy here. Got some different languages, and on the back of the box, they talk about the different dot options you have. That's one thing that this site has that the Bushnell does not, or the Bushnell TRS-25 does not. This one has red or green, and you can go with a 3 MOA dot, a 10 MOA dot, a crosshair, or a 65 MOA circle with a 3 MOA dot in it, either in red or green. So you've got some different options. It's also an illuminated red dot scope. And let's see. Well, let's get it out of the box and let's take a look at what's inside. What do you get for your sub $100 here? Okay, if we get we slide this styrofoam out of the box. Bushnell owner's manual, user manual, installation manual, adjustments, registration card, and a limited lifetime warranty. It's warranted to be free of defects in materials and workmanship for the lifetime of the original owner. Let's see. Basically, if you've got any problems, you've got to send them in a check for $10 to cover the cost of shipping. And they'll take care of it for you. This is a little bit different from the TRS-25. The TRS-25 has a 1-year warranty. Same deal, you got to send in $10 to cover shipping and handling, and a copy of your receipt. This is a little bit different. This one has a limited lifetime warranty, and it's not asking for a copy of your receipt. Okay, so inside the box, cleaning lens, which is typical. This is a empty plastic bag that a battery goes into. The battery's already in the red dot, because I've already taken this out and looked at it. This is a UV filter that goes on the end of this red dot. This is also something that the TRS-25 does not have. This is a lens barrel, not a lens, it's a scope barrel extension. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they include this. I'm assuming that this allows you to make the red dot longer so you can space out the mounting brackets. And that would be my thought on that. The mounting rings. There's 2 of these. I'll talk about those shortly. There is a hex key, and this hex key fits the hex bolt on the top and the bottom of the mounting rings, and then the actual red dot itself in the plastic bag. Oh, let's get that and get it. Get this out of the way. Okay, so now what we have here, we also have a cap, a lens cap that's different from the bikini type of cover that the TRS-25 has. You can see these are still rubber caps with the B for the Bushnell, but there's a elastic cord that's attached to these two, and these caps, even without this cord, these caps will stay on here. They're kind of pressure fit. The cord, I believe, is to keep these two together. So if one pops off, you don't lose it. So this is actually a much nicer cap setup than the TRS-25. In my opinion, it is, at least. Okay, so with this off, again, these aren't captured on the actual red dot itself, so you still run the possibility of losing these like you could with the bikini lens covers. The tube on this is a 28 millimeter tube, so it's 3 millimeters larger than TRS-25. It also has the coated lens as well. The end of this can be removed, and if you remove that, then you can put the barrel extension on it. I've not tried to put this on, but it's going on there just fine. So you can make this really long, and I believe that's so you can, put one of these mounts further out. That's my understanding. The lens cover, put this thread protector back on. Moving on to this little, that's not a, it's I believe they call this a, is it a UV filter? I believe it's a UV filter. Yeah, I don't have it on my notes here. Oh, I see. It's actually threaded, so you wouldn't be able to use the UV filter with this extension because it's designed to thread in, and it's not going to thread in right there. So if you wanted to use the UV filter, you'd unscrew this end cap and screw it in. So this is another nice feature that this has, and the TRS-25 does not. So we've got the UV filter, and this might cut down on reflections if you're using this out in the field. So another nice feature. The battery goes on top, not unlike a TRS-25. You just unscrew that and drop in the CR. It's a 2032 battery. Yeah, it's the CR 2032 battery. And again, like I mentioned, I already put the battery in there. It does not come installed. I put the battery in there. I wanted to make sure this worked before I got it on video. And if I got it on video and it didn't work, there'd just be a bunch of profanity, so that wouldn't be too fun. At least not for you. It would be fun for me. Our windage and elevation adjustments, removable caps. I don't see O-rings here. You can see our adjustments right there. You could use a rifle casing to adjust that, make adjustments. I don't feel an O-ring on there. The red dot itself is 100% waterproof, fog-proof, and shock-proof, and it's dry nitrogen filled. So to power this on, if we've got a mark right here, and we've got 0. I mean, we've got our numbers in red and green. So depending upon, if I go to this step, this will be level 1 in red, level 2, level 3, level 4 in red, level 5, and then we go to green off. And then we start from green off to green 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got 5 levels of brightness for each color, red and green. So that's how you switch in between the two colors, the red and the green. Now this dial over here, this allows you to select the reticle that you're going to use. So if we start off with right here, the first one would be a 3 MOA dot, and then we go, I believe it was a 10 MOA dot, and then we go up to a crosshair, and then we go to the 65 MOA dot with a small 3 MOA dot on the inside. These are all listed in red, but whatever you set this on, like if we set it right there at the crosshairs in red, and we go to this, it would be red. If we scroll down to this, it would be in green. So that's how that works. Also, the eye socket piece right here, this is also different from the TRS-25. This has this rubberized, there's a rubberized boot on here. So if you get this up close to your eyes and you bump into it, you've got a little bit of soft protection. So with that said, let's start off with a 3 MOA dot. And this doesn't look like it has any night vision settings because the first setting, which is 1, I can see the dot, so this definitely tells me there's no night vision capability. 2 brightness, 3 brightness, and of course I apologize, you probably can't see that. I'm not even sure if you can see a 3 brightness on there, but I've got it turned up to 3 red, level 3 on the red, and level 4 and level 5. Level 5 is the brightest. So that's a level 5 with the 3 MOA dot setting. If we go to the 10 MOA dot setting, I'm sure you can definitely make that one out. That's a really big dot now. So that's a 10 MOA dot at level 5, the brightest setting. And if we go to the crosshairs, and of course it's still at level 5, the brightest, because I want to make sure you can see it. And there's the crosshair. And if we go to the circle within a circle, and it's still at level 5 brightness. So kind of a similar reticle to the EOTech. So that's kind of nice. Level 5. Let's kick that down to level 3. It's fairly crisp from what I can see. Almost looks like there's a double image. Yeah, it definitely looks like there's a double image. Sorry, I'm taking it off camera, but putting it close up to my eye. Yeah, it kind of looks like there's a double image. Could be my eyes playing tricks on me. There's the circle within a circle on level 3. And I'm going to switch it back to the crosshair. Yeah, crosshair looks like a double image too. I'm getting the double image with both eyes open or with one eye closed. Barely noticeable, but it's there. So I don't know if that's by design. Doesn't seem to be there on the red dot. And although you may not be able to see this, depending upon what you're looking at with this red dot, I'm getting a slight faint outline around the crosshair, which looks like a faint outline of a little box. So it might be the emitter. I might be getting a little bit of a shadow from the emitter on there. You can't really see this because of the white background. How about if I aim it at that? See if that gets captured. Yeah, I can't really capture the the little faint outline that's around the crosshair. And if you go all the way up to level 5, you can see it a little bit more. Not sure if that can be captured on the camera, but there's a little faint outline around the crosshair, which I suspect is some sort of a shadow from the emitter. Now, one thing also that doesn't appear to be present is there's no bulge for the actual red dot emitter. On the TRS-25, it's right down here at the bottom, and that actually gets in the way if you're doing a 1/3 co-witness. With this, the only thing I see is over here on the side, kind of where this adjustment knob is. I'm guessing that's where the emitter is, but the emitter is definitely very low profile. So if you're doing 1/3 co-witness or absolute co-witness, you're not going to have any interference from the emitter like you would get with the TRS-25. Let's see. Okay, that was red. Let's take a look at the green. Well, the green definitely does not show up against a white background very well. Definitely shows up better against a black background. So this is level 5 green crosshair. The green does not appear to be as bright as the red. We'll just put this black behind it. So that's level 5 with the green crosshair. Assuming that's in focus. And let's do the 65 MOA circle within a circle. And there's the green. And again, this is on level 5, which is the brightest setting for the green. And I'm getting the double image on the green as well, so. And here's the 10 MOA green dot on level 5, the brightest. So that covers the different reticle options and the red and the green settings and the brightness. Let me go ahead and take these mounting rings apart. These don't just slide on, you gotta take the bolts out. Let me go ahead and take these apart and put these on here so we can take a look at it. Okay. What I did was I mounted these on as close as I could together because we're going to put this on an AR-15 upper, and if we space these out too far, you may not get enough eye relief. I'm not even sure if we're going to get enough eye relief with how large this red dot is and where these mounts are located. But I put them in as far as I could. This is also a little bit tricky because when you put these mounts on, it's real easy. You can, mount this red dot at an angle or get it off center real easy. So it's something to keep in mind if you're gonna mount this. I know a lot of rifle scopes have little bubble levels, or you can buy bubble levels and put on your scope to make sure you get your scope aligned correctly. This could definitely benefit from something like that, but it doesn't come with one. So let me take out a upper receiver. I've got a blank upper receiver, and let's see if we can get this mounted. Okay, with these mounting rings, this top bolt right here more or less secures this onto the tube. You take these bottom ones out and you can slide this assembly on, and then the bolt goes through one of the channels in the Picatinny rail and then clamps down. So this is in the furthest forward position on an AR-15, and you can see where you would be, where you'd be looking into this red dot right there. And in comparison, if we were to hold up a TRS-25. Let's say we mounted the TRS-25 as far forward as we could on the upper receiver. It would be right there, about approximately right there. So 2.5, roughly, maybe 2.5 inches. You're going to lose about 2.5 inches of eye relief. Going with this versus like a TRS-25 or an Aimpoint T1 or one of the primary arms micro red dot sights. And so that's the mounting. The fit and finish of this, the mounting mechanism, the fit and finish, it's a typical Bushnell quality. I've noticed that I don't know what these normally sell for retail, but I've seen these sell for anywhere from $50 to $80. Many times they're actually less money than a TRS-25, so that's something to keep in mind. And before I forget, let me just read off what Bushnell has on their website concerning this particular red dot sight. Unlimited eye relief for handguns, shotguns, and rifles. Dial-in electronic crosshairs. Multicolored optics. Amber bright, high contrast lens coating. And I showed that. 100% waterproof, fog-proof, shock-proof construction. Dry nitrogen filled. The mounting rings are included, of course, is a matte black finish. The objective lens is a 1x28 millimeter, so it's a non-magnified red dot, just like the TRS-25. The reticle is 4 dial-in reticles in red or green. Lens coating multicolored. Rain guard, no. Tube diameter 28 millimeters. Parallax adjustment fixed. Field of view 68 feet at 100 yards or 22.6 meters at 100 meters. The weight in ounces is 6 ounces or 170 grams. Length is 5.5 inches or 140 millimeters. Eye relief is unlimited. Exit pupil is 28 millimeters. Click range, inches at 100 yards is 5, millimeters at 100 meters is 14. Adjustment range, inches at 100 yards is 50. That's 1.4 millimeters at 100 meters. Mounting length, 4.1 inches or 104 millimeters. And the focal plane is second. Now the weight I mentioned was 6 ounces. Now if you compare that to the TRS-25, the TRS-25 with the mount is, pretty sure I wrote it down, but it's the TRS-25 by itself is 3.7 ounces, and it's 5.5 ounces with the high-rise mount. So surprisingly, this larger red dot is not much heavier than this. You know, when you factor in the mounting base. So we've got 6 ounces versus 5.5 ounces. And that's pretty much everything I had on the Bushnell Trophy red dot, the 1x28. Now, one thing I did notice was these included mounting rings. These are not in comparison. Look, you can see that this mounting base on the TRS-25 right here provides absolute co-witness, and you can see that it is you know, substantially taller. So you're not going to get 1/3 co-witness or even absolute co-witness with this. I think what you end up with is an upper 1/3 co-witness, if that makes sense. I've got a sight here, so let me go ahead and put a sight on here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I've got a backup iron sight here, and if we flip that up, you can see the height of the iron sight versus the height of the red dot. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I'm sorry, this is going off. I'm taking it out of the frame of view here because I'm trying to look down it. Excuse me just a second. Well, let's see if we can capture that in some way, shape, or form here. Okay, just a little tripod adjustment. And you could see that you could do some sort of co-witnessing here. I call it an upper 1/3 co-witness. It's right near the top. I mean, it definitely is doable in an emergency situation. If you needed to co-witness with the irons and the your red dot went out, you could definitely do it. Of course, I'm not sure if that's visible on camera, but I do have the red dot on. And let's try the 10 MOA. May not be visible on the camera, but I do believe it's there. Yeah, it's there. I would assume the if it was me, the irons would only come out if my red dot died on me, and as long as I can see through the opening in the red dot, to line up my rear and my front backup sights, that's all that would be of importance to me. I'm not really interested in being able to see the red dot through the irons, but in case some people are, you can see the red dot through the irons. So if that's called upper 1/3 co-witness, I don't know, but it definitely is usable, but it would be nicer if these were a little bit higher so you could get an absolute co-witness with the irons. But again, okay, in summation, I gave you all the specs. I've seen these for $50, $60, $70. I think that's a great buy on this. The only thing that jumps out at me is the double image that I see inside of the red dot, and I'm not sure if I read something about that. I thought I might have read something on Bushnell's website about. I don't see anything in the owner's manual, so I don't know if that is common with all of these to see a kind of a shadow image. But I do recall reading something about that somewhere. Maybe it was for a different red dot. It's not very noticeable. I mean, if you were using this, you'd have to stare at it really intently to notice the double image, and you know the one image is almost right on top of the other, so it's not like would screw up your field of view, or if you were trying to line up a shot. I don't think it would interfere with that, and I don't see anything in the manual about it. I haven't had a chance to actually shoot this on a rifle. This is the first time that I've actually mounted it on an upper for clearance checking, and you know, it definitely is usable. It's a nice looking sight, and it's not really going to weigh much more than like a micro red dot sight. And you have a couple of nice advantages with this. You've got the UV filter, you've got nicer lens caps, you've got the red-green option, and you've got, of course, the different reticle options as well. So if you want something that's a little bit more flexible than a TRS-25 for roughly the same money, if not less, and you don't mind a smidgen more weight, and you can live with, you know, reduced eye length, or eye relief, this could be a viable option. This doesn't carry a model number like the TRS-25, I believe, stands for Trophy Red Dot Sight or something 25, which would be a 25 millimeter lens. This one just says 1 by 28 millimeter, and it has a number of 730135. So I'm going to wrap this video up. Hopefully it provides some useful information if you're considering this particular option from Bushnell.